freedom, pulling it off the shelf, putting it on my chain, wearing it round my neck. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my car, wherever I choose to go. It won't take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life.
You just popped every time.
Going. Well, welcome everyone. This is episode 15 of Mama's on the Move.
Yes, episode 15.
And I am Brandy Hunter Lewis.
And I am Keisha Johnson.
And we're excited to be back today. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. We've had a lot of, as we told y'all.
Right.
We real life Mamas on the Move, and we have had a lot of life events going on.
Right.
So, but we did not want to delay this anymore because there's just been a lot going on in our world and our society and our lives.
Yes.
So we kind of are off the cuff this time too.
Yeah, we're off the cuff. We're definitely off the cuff. And I told B that I wanted to be unstructured and just kind of have a conversation because there are some things that have been going on, like B said, in the world, but locally here and just in our lives too. And I told B, I don't want every episode we have to be dark and all of that kind of stuff or talking about depression or drama.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And life is what it is. And I think some discussions, they need to be had about things to bring more awareness and to just, it's all about us getting better together. I mean, that's what I think we try to do every episode is to help one another. That's what we do for each other as friends. And that's why we wanted to use this platform.
Absolutely.
So, we laugh and joke and we're going to do some of that as we always do. But there are a couple of things we want to talk about. So we're going to start off just talking about what's been going on in each other's lives. And this week, B just told me she want me to go first.
Yeah.
I'm sitting up here like,
have at it, Keish.
Okay. I'm like,
what's going on, girl?
Well, I'm close to wrapping up to go back to my house. It's been over 3 months.
Oh my God, it's been that long, Keisha.
It happened May 16th and it's August 22nd. 23rd today.
Wow.
So it has been over 3 months. And it's interesting because I can sincerely say I probably could have been back about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And had some of these last things to happen around me. But I had gone over where I was spending a couple of hours a day here and there just to kind of reacclimate myself, if you will. And it wasn't peaceful for me. I mean, sometimes, but okay, for instance, like I've never locked my car going into my house.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Because as I said before,
So
I
you
live
did,
on
though.
10 acres. I live off the, and the way I'm having to live there now feels different.
Right.
So
that's an adjustment.
That's an adjustment in itself.
Yeah.
And a lot of people's like, well, why don't you just move? It's not quite, first of all, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
And second of all, I'm just the type of person, like, you're not going to run me up out my house. You know what I'm saying? That's why he ended up leaving the way he did.
Right.
Because I had people say, well, why didn't you just back up and leave?
Right.
I'm like, he was in my house. It never even registered to me to leave. It never even crossed my mind to leave.
And that right there alone just shocked me because you took that head on.
Yeah.
A lot of people would have got the hell out of Dodge.
Right.
They saw somebody running down their house, looking crazy. They just would have backed up, and
it never occurred to me. Yeah, it never occurred to me to leave. I mean, and it's funny when people ask me, I'm like, I never even thought about leaving.
Yeah.
Because he was in my house.
Right.
And that's my house. So my mind, and I know that probably sounds crazy to people, but when I thought about it, when people say, well, why didn't you just leave? And I'm like, leave my house or with somebody in it. Now I definitely would never have been able to go back because I would have never known why, how, what, when,
who. Yeah,
right? You know what I mean? So at least I know. And I think I told you, I since found he had charges in another county. So now when he finished answering the charges in Fulton, he has to go there.
Wow.
And I don't know what the charges are in Claim, but my intuition says it's probably the same thing. I mean, he's definitely done what he did before.
Yeah.
So transitioning to that, and it has been such a joy being with my brother. Some of you who watch my Insta stories know about, the family chronicles and his obsession with food that he didn't realize he had until I got there. Because all it took was for him to tell me that he's gained 7 pounds because of me. I was like, okay.
Since you've been there?
Since I've been there. And I picked up 2 since I've been there. But I think we've just been, every day it's like, keep what we eating, that kind of thing. So I think that I started doing video evidence for him to see his obsession with food has absolutely nothing to do with me living there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, last night he went to 3 different fast food places. Like that's pretty deep.
Who does that?
He went and had Chick-fil-A. No, he went to 2 different fast food places, Chick-fil-A and Burger King. But what got me is that he went to Burger King to have the Impossible Burger, but he ended up eating the Whopper with cheese first. I said, wait a minute. I thought you was not eating meat. He told me, man, you can't go to Burger King and not get the real Whopper. He told me the Impossible Burger was good though. I said
That was his first time trying.
That was the first time trying the
Got it.
Impossible Burger. So it's just been a real joy, and it's like I said, I know that it really is how you look at things.
Right.
It's like they tell us in bold to change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change.
Yeah.
And for me, and I think that's why you sent me that, you sent the message you sent that night you came to the house, but because I can go into a certain space, but it really has been a catalyst for change for me. And that means from the material things I was holding on, which actually equal emotional baggage that I was holding on to,
Right.
because we don't equate those as the same often.
Right.
But I realized that it is.
Yeah.
Whether it's holding on to all the clothes I had from Big Daryl, my mom's stuff that was there, those energies was still filling up my home.
Oh, wow.
And so for me now to make room for who God has for me and who God wants me to be,
Right.
I had to clear it out.
Yeah.
So this whole experience has been so
Life-changing.
Yeah. Life-changing. And I had to tell Meryl, I was talking to Meryl yesterday, and Meryl was like, it just hurt my heart, and it was just so violent. He was kind of going, I said, Meryl, listen, I can't go back and talk about that way.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? Because first of all, I'm going back home this weekend.
Right.
I said, and second of all, I understand it was random. And, what I walk around with daily, most people can't.
Yeah.
And that's why when folks come for me, I know we said we're going to talk about it, but... Sorry. It's like I said to, it's like what I've been through and who I am. I'm a survivor.
Yeah.
And so... what I've been through and everything, and I still get up every day and go get it. You bitch, I'm sorry. You edit.
No, but you ain't say the whole word.
You know what I'm saying?
You say the whole word.
They could never.
Yeah.
So don't come for me.
Yeah.
Because this ain't what you want.
Yeah.
And you could never be. I mean, that's why I said I'm gonna let my ancestors take care of that. But the reality is, don't. I'm not the one.
Don't do it.
I'm
Yeah.
not the one.
Yeah, because truth be told, the fact that you are an overcomer and that you've endured so many hardships, I mean, people look to you for strength. Because that is challenging for a lot of people. You know, and it's even been a challenge for you, and you're very
for sure.
transparent about that. What that journey has been
Yeah.
like for you. So I think that's why you resonate so much with people, because you are very transparent and you do go into your
Spaces, yeah. I go in
and
there, yeah.
and everybody's calling to check on you because they all concerned, and
Yeah.
so people are connected to you in that way for that reason. But I'm like, to witness you go through this journey has been inspiring for me,
Really?
and oh, absolutely, girl. I've always told you. Well, I don't know if I've always told you, but with this most recent event, I told you that was like on some superhero type, supernatural, like what you did. And I know we kind of
Right.
The most previous episode was that we did talk
Yeah,
about
that was the
last-
last one.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
our
talked
last
about it.
episode we talked about like in depth what you did. So if you've not listened to that podcast, y'all have to go back.
have to go listen
You
to it.
have to go and listen to it. It'll give you just so much understanding as far as where she is now, what she's overcome, and just how you can't allow life to consume you in a way where you just give up. You just give up.
It's
Yeah.
like my principal from high school said to me, we're Facebook friends now, and he just loved commenting on my stuff. It's interesting because he suspended me like 3 times when I was in middle school, but now he's my BFF.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was talking about something one time, and he said, it's okay to let the tears flow, but don't let them flow too long or flood what's next. Because ultimately, God is going to restore you.
That's right.
You're going to get to the other side of this if you just keep going.
That's right.
And if you keep crying, you're going to flood what he has next for you.
Right.
So he said, it's okay to let the tears flow, but don't let them flow too long or flood what's next. And that has
Right.
always
That's
stayed
big.
with me. And, it's not easy. I never will say it is. And my brother said something to me last week. We were around just hanging out by the pool. And he said, I didn't realize until you've been here with me that what you go through day to day, he said, I share a portion of it. And some days, he said, it's hard for me not having mom here. Mom here. And he said, and even daddy, even though he was the reason why, whatever.
Yeah.
He said, but I've always had somebody to share that with, even when I'm going through that, my wife.
Yeah.
He said, and for you to add losing your husband,
Yeah.
he said, it just didn't even hit me until you were here.
Yeah.
How heavy that must be day to day to not
Yeah.
have your parents or your husband.
Right.
And you got a son you look at every day and so on
Yeah.
and so forth. And he said, so I'm going to give you a lot more,
Yeah.
that I
Respect.
have
Yeah.
about how you move through this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so forth. But yeah, so that's kind of what's what's been going on with me, and business has been good. You know, I will say that this did throw me off.
Yeah.
Some, you know, just not being in my home. I haven't had the same structure because it's always so go to my brother's house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like it's not a party house. It's a family house.
Right.
So you never know who's going to be there.
Yeah.
You know,
you always engage in somebody.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like that's different, but I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not. I mean,
You just kind of taking in this
Yes.
is the
This is the
season that
season.
you're in.
Exactly.
And enjoy it, because you will probably never have this type of
time with my
your
brother again. Exactly.
Yeah.
And we have been having some fun.
Yeah.
And then he called me yesterday. He had been working on something that came through for him. And we were supposed to go to Africa. He was taking us all to Africa in 2016, but he ended up getting divorced. I mean, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
just, you know, financially just didn't. And so he called me yesterday. I was in Bold and he called and I'm like, I know I told him I'm in Bold today. And he texted. And then I texted him back. He didn't respond. So I stepped out. I said, hey, what's up? And he was like, I just want to let you know we're going to Africa next summer. I said, are we? He said, yeah. He said, I'm speaking into existence. I got some that came through and so on and so forth. So I said, okay. And he's a visionary.
Yeah.
He lives the secret.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I will be going to Africa next
I
summer.
know that's right. I love it. I love
So-
it. Girl, you got the best big brother in the
I
world.
do.
I tell you that. I said, I just
Yeah.
love me some George.
He love my
your
friends, too.
bro hub. I just love me some George,
And
honey.
he loves my friends, honey. That day when I lost my phone, he talked about who I need to text because I know folks be. I said her to text Brandy and me and Aaron and you know let people know that
Yeah.
you know I'm gonna be out of pocket until I can find this phone. But you know that even was a blessing because I needed to focus.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, we depend on these phones so much, and I did it for about as long as I could. Then I had to go to T-Mobile.
Right.
But I wasn't mad not being able to be reached for about 12 hours.
Yeah.
It
And
was-
not being,
Not
having
being
to get
so-
on social
right.
media
Yeah.
and check in. And
Yeah,
Yeah. I
it
bet
was.
that
It was
a
actually kind of
refreshing.
freeing. Yeah, it
yeah.
really was. So that's all that's going on in my life. I have a new book that's going to be dropping.
Ooh,
yeah, it's
when?
another. I'm hoping to get it out the week after Labor Day.
Okay.
It went to editing this morning.
Okay.
And then I have the book that's going to be dropping on October 25th.
Oh,
That I've been
nice.
working on for about 2 years.
Not, is it real estate related or no?
The
Ooh.
next one that's gonna come is real estate related, but the
Okay.
one after that ain't nothing about real estate.
It's life.
It's
related.
life, and it's real.
I'm excited.
And I'm dropping it October 24th.
Okay.
That will be 11 years to the day we lost Daryl.
Wow.
And it's very important to me.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be very helpful for people, but it's real.
Oh, I love it.
Yep.
And people love your realness, like people really, really do love your realness because everybody is going through something. Everybody is going through something. Everybody's not able to communicate and express those thoughts and even understand sometimes what they're grieving or what they're going through. It don't even have to be a loss of a husband or parent. Hell, you could be grieving the loss of a job or just a relationship
or what you thought your life was gonna be.
Yeah, I have one of my clients. She just woke up yesterday, and her dog, who has been in her life since 2009, just she found him just not breathing.
Lord.
And she has had this dog even since before her children were born.
Oh, wow.
And I understand now because my little beanie is my world, honey.
And I remember when I used to love me some Wolfgang, and I would be pouring. I know this was pouring in bottled water, whatever. And you was like, really, Keish? And I just loved him so much,
Yeah.
So now you get it. It's
I get
different.
it.
You have
the
to
fur
experience
baby.
it.
That fur baby
It's
attachment
real.
is real.
It's
They
real.
really become
they like another child.
They absolutely are another child.
And that's the one thing I am looking forward to. My brother's getting me another dog.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about having another dog. I'm just trying to find one that's a little bit older than a puppy.
Yeah.
Because the time that it takes to train, and my nephew's a canine officer, so he's going to make sure he's trained the way the Wolfgang
that's
was.
good. Yeah.
But that puppy stage, I'm like, I just can't do it.
It's too
right
much
now.
work.
It's too much.
It's like
work.
having a real
It's
baby.
It's a
for
baby.
real.
It's a
Yeah.
baby, and I got brand new
And
carpet
ain't
too.
nobody got time. for
Right?
that.
Okay, I ain't got time for that. Period.
No.
So that's what's been going on in my life. What's been going on with you?
So what's been going on with me? So, got finished with all my travels, and I'm just so excited to get through this summer and just be, stationary. Like
Yeah.
it's been a lot.
You've been traveling a lot.
I've been traveling a whole lot, but out of a suitcase. I haven't even got a chance to unpack one suitcase before I'm going somewhere else.
And since we last met, your cousin and best friend got married.
Jocelyn. So that was my last trip. So I got to witness her nuptials, honey, which was just so, so beautiful. I'm so excited for my cousin. She, was in a 20-year marriage, got married when she was 18, and they divorced. And, she just was just open,
Ooh, baby, when she
open.
wrote that, she said at 1 a.m. when she shared that list that she
Yes.
made at 1 a.m.
Right.
I said, sis, you gave me life. She
Oh
gave
my
me life with
God.
that.
Was
She
that
wrote
not
down
powerful?
everything she wanted, and she said she cried out to God. Why?
Yes.
Because she had been, she never thought she would have her life without her,
Right, right.
from 18.
Who she grew up with.
Well, she could write,
Yes.
and had 3 beautiful sons. The handsome sons. Like I said, not beautiful, but they are good looking boys. 3 sons, but when she said at 1:07, I mean, to see that screenshot at 1:07 a.m. and she said a year later to the day she met her future husband.
Yeah.
What's his name? Michael.
Michael.
And so to see the detail of what she wanted, and she was like, he was that and then some. But she gave it to God.
Yes.
She was specific. She
Very
cried
specific.
out.
Very
and
specific.
a year later, almost to the day.
Yes. Girl, so isn't her story, of course, is inspiring. And I
Yes.
just love her. She is such a joy, a person filled with so much joy. She always celebrates others.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, I mean, I just
Yes, she
love her
does.
spirit. Her name is Jocelyn Hope, and Hope just exudes from her.
Yes,
it
agreed.
just exudes from everything that she does. She's such a highly successful businesswoman.
Yes, she
She
is.
is just killing it in the ranks at State Farm. So I just always like to just pump that out because I'm proud of her.
Yeah.
I'm proud of her.
Y'all
So
are
anyway,
very similar in nature. Something about that family.
no, we
honey.
are. We
Y'all
really are.
very similar
We
in
go
nature.
hard. We really go hard for our family and our business.
Both
just
3
everything.
boys.
Yep,
It's so
both
funny.
3 boys.
The
Just
irony.
everything that we
Irony.
do. So went to Chicago for her wedding and got the chance to spend, time with all my family there in Chicago. So we had a blast. Because our family really does know how to party.
Yeah, it looked like y'all had a real party.
Oh, girl,
Like, all
it
weekend,
was
like
a
y'all
real
had
party
good
for real.
time.
And my cousins are absolutely crazy. You know how you just got them crazy
Right,
cousins? Yeah.
exactly.
So we just had a really, really, really good time. Came home and my husband is working. He's been working. So unfortunately he couldn't come on that trip. But just having a chance to just settle down and enjoy my home in comfort and get back to work. I've been working, but all that travel does take away.
Oh, yeah, it does.
It absolutely. So
But I can't tell, Miss Luxury, for the month of July.
Southeast
I was going to say,
region.
break down let people understand the number of agents in the Southeast region.
Yes, thousands.
Thousands, and you
Yeah.
were the top 3.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to put a little.
Yeah. So your girl did that. Okay?
You did that.
Your girl did that.
And I was so glad you shared it.
I know,
because you
I
never
normally-
share.
I normally
and I'm like, you
don't.
gotta share more.
I'm
B. It's
kind of
not-
modest, and I don't.
It's not about it's you're very humble, but it's also about when God bless you, you're supposed to share the
Yeah,
blessings because you're
yeah.
inspiring somebody else. It's not about break because we know those that brag.
Yeah,
it's a difference.
Right. There is a difference.
I'm not gonna be able to hold it. I'm just gonna tell you right there. I know what you said, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hold it this whole show, Keyshawn.
Let me sip my little
I just
coffee
don't
over
know if
here.
I'm able to hold what's really on my heart. I'm gonna try, but it might not work out that way. So just
Well,
go
we
ahead.
gonna pray. We gonna pray. Let the Lord
But it's a
lead you.
difference, and I'm glad that
Yeah,
you shared.
There's a difference. So I'm glad I shared too, because I know just like people look for inspiration, you know what I'm saying? There was someone who inspired me to even want to get into real estate. And I've kind of accepted that I am that
person for other people.
for other people
Absolutely.
too. So I am being more deliberate about sharing certain
intentional.
things.
That's good.
And intentional.
Because I had to damn near cuss you out.
I know.
It's like,
I'ma
why
do
do I have
better.
to bother you?
But
Why
you know
I gotta
what? I swear.
badger you to share your blessings. Because I've watched you go through so much.
Yeah.
You fought.
No, and that truth be told, y'all, for real, like your testimony is not for you. It's not for you. It's
Exactly.
for you to share. And I share certain things, but part of me is like, oh, I'm just kind of some stuff you just kind of want to
I
hold on
respect
to.
the way that you keep your, certain things private. But your business, it's already on record.
Right.
And and I just feel like that's a big deal. And
Yeah.
you did it. And I know we're not supposed to talk about, I'm going to talk about it. In real estate, we're not supposed to get into color, but it was you and 2 other white girls.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
Because a
because
lot of
most
times
people
those are
in the
doors
world
they
of
don't want to let
luxury-
us in.
Yeah,
In
in
that
the-
luxury world.
Yeah, in the
and
world
you
of
out there
luxury, it's-
dominating it.
yeah,
You
yep,
killing it. And I
yep.
can remember, I gotta say it.
Yeah.
When I first met you, you was running $40,000 investors around. And I said,
Girl,
B,
I was.
Brandy,
I sure
why
was.
are you riding you go all, I got to get down to Southwest because we was at Buckhead. I got to show this. B, that ain't it right there, sis.
Girl, but you know what? It took me going through that experience to see how I didn't want to run my business.
Yeah.
Because part of me was like, you know what? It's business. I'm just going to get this, whatever
Right,
it is.
right.
If it's an investor that want me to write 10 contracts a day, I'm busy, so I felt like
But
I
it wasn't productive.
but it was not fruitful.
Exactly.
It was busy, just busy work.
Just
It
busy
wasn't
work.
productive busy work. So it took that season for
It's
me
a
to
difference.
learn. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did some shifting after that.
Yeah.
I absolutely did some shifting after that.
Yeah.
So that was cool to be acknowledged in that way. And I the closings that you have in June, July is the work that you did that I did in that second quarter. April, May, or what is it? March, April, May. No, January, February, March, April, May, June. April,
The
May,
quarter
June.
before.
The quarter
typically.
before. So I had success because I was traveling the month of July. So I
You
wasn't
traveled
working
basically the whole month.
Yeah, the whole month of July. So I wasn't really working. So now that I'm back and I'm settled, I can get back to work.
Get
And
it.
I have some goals, that I've done well, but I really do have some goals that I'm looking to achieve for this year. So I'm hitting it hard now.
Yeah.
I'm in that office every day. I'm making my calls. I'm just on top. I'm real deliberate about my lead generation and making sure that I hit these numbers. So
That was my aha yesterday because my database is not up to date at
Yeah.
all. And so that was, that's the second step of bold.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on this weekend.
That's
Even
good.
with all the stuff I'm going on, I was like, I got to clean this database
Yeah.
up because I have too much money. Remember when we were at dinner and Keisha stopped by?
Right.
Keisha being the mayor.
Yeah.
Keisha, what is Keisha's name?
Keisha
Lance
Lance
Bottoms. And he's going to tell. I'm like, why? And I know Keisha's name. What am I thinking? And so Brandy and I were having dinner, and she stopped by and we chatted for a minute or so. And so when she walked away, Brandy was looking at me like,
You know what? Keisha is old Atlanta.
I am.
You know
old
what I'm saying?
Atlanta
I'm
for
new
sure.
Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I
She's
claim
new
Atlanta
Atlanta.
now. I'm a Midwesterner to the heart, but I love me some A. I'm in the A now, so
Right.
I respect and appreciate what Atlanta has done for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you old Atlanta. You got old Atlanta relationships. You went to high school with these people.
Right.
You went to elementary school with all these people. And all these people are now in prominent positions.
Yeah.
And they know you. They respect you. Like, you not working your database like you should.
I agree. You're right.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because when something is so comfortable or something that you know so well, you don't think about it. So after Keisha and I chatted for a minute, Brandon gave me this look like, really?
Like, for real?
And I was like, what? You was like, you this is ridiculous. Like, you need to be. And so that was like an aha moment. And so yesterday he had us stand up. He said, who is a native of Atlanta who's actually done real estate for more than 10 years or 15 years, something like that. And I was on
OMG. You were the only one? Wow, Keish.
That was a native Atlanta that's done real estate
That's
past like 15
crazy.
years. And he was looking like, so he was just talking about the database and all that kind of stuff. And I felt so small because it was like, you in a room of all these agents and you're the only one that's.
But you know what?
It's crazy.
Listen. I'm gonna cut you some slack, okay? But not in a way where it's giving you excuses. Because now that you own it, you recognize it. Let's get on top of it.
Agreed.
But you've been through some life experiences that have
Yeah.
kind of taken you out of your element,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, those setbacks do put you in a space where you're doing enough to make it,
Right.
But you probably aren't excelling or achieving at a level that you
No,
could be,
no.
because you still in your head and
Exactly.
in these experiences.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? You've worked through that, and I truly believe that you are in a space now where it's just time for you to.
It's just time to grow. It's time to go.
grow.
It's time to go.
It's time to soar.
And that's what my brother
and
said.
to soar in the way that you want to.
Exactly.
We talk about living a life by design.
Exactly.
And nobody at this phase of the game. You almost 20 years in the game.
Yeah.
I'm 15 years in the game.
Right.
I'm not trying to work like no freaking Hebrew slave.
Right.
Until I'm 70 years old. I'm
Exactly.
not. So
No.
I'm trying to position myself, which I know you are doing the same.
Yeah.
To work where you can accomplish what you want to accomplish. You can make the numbers that you want to make to afford you the lifestyle that you want to live.
Right.
And it ain't no competition but yourself.
Exactly.
You know
And
what
that's
I'm
the
saying?
reality of it. And the thing about it is, and I'm so glad you spoke on that life by design, because ultimately that's what it's about.
Yeah.
I have done the $1 million lunch, not what you call it, the AB. I've done all of that.
Yeah.
I'm at a place now where, and that's what I love about our industry, so many different ways to get money. I had an opportunity recently brought to me where it's a company that's buying thousands of homes, and all they want is somebody to come in and oversee basically cosmetic stuff to get the houses ready to rent. They're
Yeah.
not flipping, they're buying and whole.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so many different ways to get money.
Right.
That's what
That's
I'm
right.
saying.
That's
that
right.
you may never see if you look up and pull somebody. Because I've never done that because I don't care what
Right.
other people's numbers are.
Yeah.
But I often see where agents are doing that kind of stuff. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why do you care so much
It
what
is the
somebody else is
weirdest
doing?
thing in the
It is
world
the
to me.
weirdest thing. How does what somebody else is
I've
going to pay your
never
bills?
pulled another
And
agent's
me
numbers.
either. I don't
just
care.
like, why does that matter? How is that going to impact you
Right.
and what you're doing?
Exactly. And and that may not be where that person is in their life.
Right.
I'm not out here 15. I don't want to.
Yeah.
So let me put it out there.
Right.
That's not that way.
Yeah.
I may do 15 million by flipping some properties, buying and holding some properties, selling some properties, or whatever. But it's a different diversifying.
Yeah.
But it's a difference in what you had. And my brother said to me the other day, he said, you don't know where you would be if you had done this for part-time 4 years,
right,
5 years, while you were out here trying to figure your life out. Because remember I told you I don't want to do this. I don't think I want to do it. You know, it was like a fight to get back. But the reality is, you're right. It's about a life by design. And when I asked you, like when we did that impromptu live a couple of weeks ago at the bar, and I said to you, you said, Keisha, I'm living a life by design. And I said, ooh, that's real. That's real. You saw this for yourself. This is what you wanted. This is why you're here. I mean, you show. Girl, out here showing $5-6 million house. I mean, that's
yes, honey.
Woo.
Yes, honey. We're
not
working
just
on that
showing
one.
selling. Yes. But I mean, I ain't gonna tell your business.
Yeah, don't tell my business. Some stuff you just got to keep on the low and be modest. And here's my thing. I swear, modesty is something that I live by, and I'm doing better about just sharing more
certain stuff. Yeah,
but it is truly being showing humility. That is just something that's just in me.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. And I think that just kind of falls in line with just the fruits of the spirit, just showing compassion, having humility, and that has kind of poured over into my business and how I deal with my clients. And so it is just kind of who I am. However, when you are being elevated, when God wants to take you to another level, there's some pruning that has to be done.
Amen.
And you got to get uncomfortable. You got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So certain things that I'm, kind of holding on to, no, he's trying to elevate you. So you got to realize he just don't want you here. You're doing well, but if he's trying to take you here, you got to get out of that space of comfort. What's comfortable for you?
You're right.
So that's kind of the space I'm in.
You're right.
And I'm open. I'm truly open. I feel like I'm in a space now, like my baby boy is a sophomore, 16, and it's so interesting. We're in the house now, and everybody else is off to college except our oldest son Kenny. And but it's a different dynamic. It's just me and him now, and my husband, and like it's tough with him because he's trying to come to grips with now it's just him that's doing all the chores, and
he like, that ain't fair.
I know, right?
Yeah.
No, it's just him that's doing all the chores, and he's so it's a battle. It's a battle working through that with him, and but it's a cool space to be in. I'm like, I wake up in the morning and I take my dog on a walk.
Yeah,
and I just
every morning, Beanie Baby.
I know, girl, my Beanie Baby. Girl, and I just take in nature. Like, I love being outdoors. I love just being
that
at one with God.
Created,
yes, like this. I'm out here.
Be on y'all swing and all of that. Yep.
So I just love that. I love that time in the morning that I could just commune with God and just take in all the elements of nature. And it just gives me, it's a super cool way for me to start my day. And I remember I have to reflect back on a time where I used to have to get up at 5:30 and get my boys ready, get out the house at 6 o'clock in the morning. No, I was getting up at 5 to get them up at 5:30 so we could be out the house by 6:15. So I could take them from the south side all the way to the north side, going and dropping off at 2 different schools. Girl, I did that forever. Okay?
I know.
And I'm like, just the freedom I feel right now to just have my mornings to myself. My baby, he hopping on the bus. Everybody else is at college. I'm like, man, this is beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing. And then you got a good husband, and you got that's the part I'm waiting on. But I think that for me, that freedom, like the other day I was coming home from work, and I had shown up in Gwinnett. I think I was coming from somewhere way up. But anyway, when I finally broke through the traffic and got to the west side, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna get off right here, because they were still like stalled at South Atlanta.
Yeah.
I said, I'm gonna get off here and go the back way to Douglasville.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm gonna take the long way home. And I decided to turn off the music. I didn't want to hear words.
Right.
I just put on some jazz, like some old Najee, some old school jazz.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm just gonna let the sunroof open and let the windows down. And I just took in the grass, the flowers, the soft music.
Yeah.
And for like 35 minutes it took me to get home, but I felt so much more at peace by the time I got there. And that's why I said you have to live and experience things and understand that was rich for me. That was value.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it wasn't I like a nice bag. I like nice things, but I'm finding the things that enriching me more
Right.
don't cost anything. So when I walked in the house to my family who was all like, hey, Keith, come on,
Yeah.
I was at a better space mentally. I
Right.
brought in good energy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think people, and I keep telling my brother, I said, I want to plant some flowers. I got to have some flowers at the
Yeah.
area outside the garage. I want flowers there.
Right.
So I got a guy that's going to come and plant me some flowers because he said, you've been talking a lot about flowers. I said, one thing that grandmama always had, and those flowers that you like, what you call them, big
Hydrangeas.
hydrangea. My grandmama house was surrounded by
I just
hydrangea.
love hydrangeas,
So I was
yes.
like, I want to see pretty when I go. So my
Yeah.
brother bought me some night lights, so I have lights that'll come up on the house. I'm doing like a little landscaping project there and
Nice,
stuff.
yeah.
So, but it's just it's the little things,
Yeah.
things that don't cost much,
Right.
And I want to do more trips.
But they bring you joy.
But they bring me joy. They bring
Yeah.
me peace.
Yeah.
Because now what I realize, and I want to kind of get into what we were gonna talk about, is a peace of mind is the real bag.
Girl, say that.
It's the real bag. And
is.
listen, I love social media just like the next person
Yeah.
and everything. But one of my good girlfriends said to me the other day, it's a meme that goes around that says, you check on your strong friends. And it's true.
Yeah.
Because that story about the lady that took her kid's life and her own.
Yeah.
And
Her adult children.
Her adult children.
Yeah.
And it's going around here. It's hitting the city
Yeah, it
hard.
happened here in Atlanta.
Happened here in Atlanta.
In Vinings,
In
right?
Vinings. She
Yeah.
lived in Vinings. The husband, I think, lives still in Southwest. But the husband is he's the chairman of Atlanta Housing Authority.
Yeah.
She was a licensed doctor, but had not been able to practice due to her mental illness, is what I've since found out.
Oh, that's why she was in medical sales?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had decided to sell medical equipment, but she was actually a doctor. She had gone to
Wow.
medical school, and he was a surgeon, but
Yeah.
he was the chairman of the Atlanta Housing Authority. But apparently, whatever she was suffering is
Yeah.
what we can obviously tell. For you to take your children's life, your adult children's lives, and then your own, she was suffering, and I think also wanted to make him suffer. But it just was confirmation to me that, because she had just posted on social media about she couldn't have a better set of kids.
Right.
She had taken the daughter to Miami,
They had
taken
gone
the
on
son
trips
to
to
Italy
and-
and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And so it resonated with me because so often, and I know what it's like to have to survive a inner family violence situation.
Right.
It's never, you live with that forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she took out that family. It's nobody
Yeah.
left except for the husband, the former husband. But you live with that. It's
Yeah.
like a part of your family's history. And if you look at her Facebook and Instagram, you just think everything
You
is
would
great.
never in a million years.
Yeah, so I'm saying that to say, I just feel like we've got to do more FaceTime.
Right.
And you've got to be selfless enough that if your friend says, hey, I reached out to you Wednesday.
Yeah.
Hey, can you do lunch?
Yeah.
And with about an hour's notice.
Yeah.
You reached out to me Monday. Like,
Right.
hey, where you, you know what I
Right.
mean? And we've got to be, we all have full lives. We
Right.
all are busy. But if your friend says, hey, we got to try to find a way.
Yeah.
Because I want to believe in my heart that if somebody had been able to see this sister, they would have seen her suffering.
You know what? Our whole family went to church on Sunday, and Creflo's message was, in a nutshell, was we have to be willing to take on each other's burdens.
Ooh, yes.
We have to be willing to take on each other's burdens because people are out here suffering.
Yes.
And that's really that's how Christ is shown through you, by showing people compassion.
Right.
Girl, and just like you called me for lunch on Wednesday, I called you for lunch. Was that Tuesday or Monday?
Monday, because we had just
Yeah.
came from art service.
Yep,
yeah.
I called you. I'm like, Keisha, where you at? What you doing?
Right.
Because I said, you know what? This day has just beat me up. I'm done. Like, I want to quit real
"What's going on?"
estate.
You said I want to quit real estate.
I'm like, I want to quit real estate. I'm over it. I'm done. Okay, I just can't take this no more. I'm sick of just deal after deal and just,
Yeah.
oh, honey,
It's-
that day almost took me out.
I
It really
know.
did.
Yeah, but we were good when we left.
We were good. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it put me meeting up with y'all. I just said, you know what? I got to leave the office. I
Yeah.
just can't take another thing.
Yeah.
So I left the office. I met up with y'all. And when I tell you that did so much for my spirit.
Yes.
It just put me back in a space where, you know what? I
I could go
appreciate
do this.
life.
Yes.
I appreciate life. Life is going to beat you up.
It is.
There are going to be
It is.
events. There are
Keep
going to be
living.
things like
Yes.
this business. Somebody mentioned something that I had brought out, something that I said in one of my captions a couple of days ago where I was just talking about. I said, I remember when I prayed for the blessings that I have today.
Right.
Like, this is what I prayed for.
Right.
I said, I have my husband. Thank God for my husband. I said, I have healthy, thriving children. I have a flourishing business. Like, these are the things I pray for.
Right.
I said, I pray for a sound mind to endure this grind because
Ooh.
God knows you need a sound mind
To endure this
to
grind.
endure
Ooh,
it.
that's deep.
To do-
That's a good quote.
Somebody said you need to put that on a shirt.
Definitely. A sound
Girl.
mind to endure this grind.
A sound mind to endure grind.
Endure this grind. That's a good one.
Yeah, and I said, honey, that was just off the dome. Okay, I said somebody might
Oh, yeah.
steal it.
Bishop B gets into it.
Yeah,
He
I
gets
do.
to it, though.
Yeah, just off the dome. But truly, you really, if you aren't saturating your mind, because you have to be accountable too for your own feelings.
For sure.
Like you really do. And some people get to a point where they don't have control over it, and that's how you end up in situations
Absolutely.
like that lady,
Yes.
unfortunately. But when you are in a position and you still have sound enough mind to take responsibility for what you're feeling,
Yeah.
and even, taking help from other people, or even reaching out to other people and saying, listen, I need you,
Right.
like, which is what I did, and that put
Right.
me in a completely different space.
Right.
Like you have to be accountable for what you're feeling, and do your best to try to help yourself get out of the space.
Absolutely.
But sometimes there are people who can't do that, who are so
Right.
deep in despair that they can't
Yes.
do that.
Right.
So it does require us reaching out, checking in,
Yes.
saying, what do you need? How
Right.
can I help you? Like, and sometimes just being an ear. Sometimes people just need to vent.
Sometimes people just need somebody to talk to. One of the things, because last night I put up on, what kind of topics would they like for us to discuss, and one young lady said, "How do you talk yourself off the ledge when you have nobody to talk to? Like, how do you?" And it's interesting because I never not have somebody to talk to, but there
Right.
are a lot of people that don't have somebody to
Yeah.
talk to, or feel they'll be judged to share what's really on their heart.
Right.
And I'm a big proponent of counseling and therapy.
Right.
And I think, we just have to be more vocal about that. And if you don't have somebody to talk to, please get to a counselor or therapy.
Right.
Now they got it where it's an app on your phone. Sometimes that may be just what you need. If
Yeah.
you don't, because I'm telling you, don't make a permanent decision for a temporary situation.
That's right.
And so often that's what happened. I know if this sister had been able to just get to the next day,
Yeah.
to somebody who could have seen her,
Yeah.
to get her back
Jesus.
to where
man.
she, you know what I mean? Because now I can't even fathom.
Girl, I
I just
swear.
can't fathom.
Oh my
But
God.
again, we really believe what we see a lot of times on Instagram,
Yeah.
and Facebook and so forth. And it doesn't mean that in that moment they weren't happy, but a lot of times, again, that's a 60-second snapshot of somebody's life.
That's right.
And it's just a tragedy of epic proportions,
Yeah.
what's happening and in the world we live in. And that's why I get to the point I don't watch news in the morning.
Girl.
I hardly try not to watch it at all. This came to me via a phone conversation. I didn't even know about
Yeah.
it. Somebody mentioned it to me because, again, I'm a native Atlantan. Atlanta is small.
Yeah.
And so, of course, once they said who it was, I did not know the family, but I know people who are good friends with them.
Yeah.
So that's how it came to me.
Yeah.
And it was just, whew, so, yeah. And what was the question that Tiffany had?
Oh, hers was good.
Yeah, hers was good.
So
we
yeah,
wanna-
so Tiffany, my lovely assistant, she had a really good question. She said, and we kind of touched on a little bit of it already. And so of course my internet Wi-Fi wants to be really slow right
Oh,
now.
okay.
So if you can pull it up on yours, because mine is like I got the little circle.
Did she put it on? She put it on your page.
She put it on my page.
Okay, let me see here.
Sprint be tripping.
Sprint be tripping. Let's see. But I think a lot of the questions that come to us are really about balance and how to do it all.
Yeah.
The reality is,
Okay, it finally came up.
okay, how to create a life by design and the importance of tapping into your resources to accomplish this.
Yeah.
I think that's something you've done really well. So we talked about it a little bit. How would you say you have really, because you're not a native Atlantan.
Yeah.
But you have come here and made this city yours.
I was intentional, honey. And I'll tell you out the gate, I said, I went to UGA. I'm not a native Atlantan, but I know a lot of people here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know a lot of people here. So I nurtured those relationships. I was out. I was visible. The people that I did know, I stayed connected to them. I supported their events. I would, I was just visible. You know what I'm saying? So the people that I did know, once you make a relationship, and I'll be honest with you, like one of the relationships that I nurtured was, and I always bring up Shanita Foster because she sent me so many referrals throughout the duration of the time that I've known her. Bless her heart. Like she's just been an avid supporter of my business, but I knocked it out the park with her. I just really impressed her. And that one relationship that I nurtured way back when I moved here in 2006, I met her in 2008, but she referred me to Candy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Candy in turn referred me to other people.
Right.
So it's like, it's just, but I was a nurturer and I was very intentional about just making sure the relationships that I did have, I wanted to really impress them people, those people.
Because loyalty, and we're going into a shifting market.
Yeah.
I don't know if some people realize that we are already in a shifting market,
Yes.
quite frankly.
Yes.
That is what is going to help you survive this business.
Oh, yes.
You have got to have relationships. Y'all who depended on social media is a great platform to market.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but like Brandy said with me, you got to get on your database. You got to really get into people's and nurture those relationships. A lot of the people that I get consistent referrals from are people that I met when I first started doing real estate. I mean, 2 deals that I'm working right now came from somebody I met back in 2005.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and those are the people that they're loyal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you said, you were intentional about it. And that's the thing about it. You have to get out your head. I'm a head person sometimes. And I think that's what has kept me from getting, and was it, I don't know if it was here that I shared, but I think, did I talk about the reading that I had the last time I was on here?
No.
Okay, so I had a reading. I believe in the metaphysical and things like that. So for those who don't, that's your business, but I do. I know what has helped me after Daryl passed when I had readings, and this is gonna really sound crazy. She could connect to him, but the things that she knew, this lady was in Las Vegas. She was a referral. She did referral only, and so the things that she knew, even down to at the time where I was wearing his his ring around my neck, the kind of car he was driving when he was killed, all that stuff. So I know there are people who are gifted to be able to
absolutely clairvoyant.
Yeah. So I had one a few weeks ago, and one of the things he told me was that you're so busy focused on where you used to be, you're not getting where you should be. And I was like, ooh. And he was like, yeah.
Just like, you can't, that's that analogy, like the rear view mirror. You can't, if you not looking out the windshield, you steady focused on the what's in the rear view mirror, you're gonna crash.
You're gonna crash.
Like you can never move forward.
Right, exactly. And so I
strong.
can't, because he was like, he kind of said, I sense that, the first thing he said is that you've had a hard life.
Yeah.
He was like, you've had a hard life. He said, but God wants to use you. He said, and another thing he told me was that you're in the part about you're so focused on where you used to be, you can't get to where you should be. He said that you keep doing what's comfortable because it's what you know, but you're supposed to be on stages, encouraging, inspiring, helping other people. And your real estate career has been a platform for that, but you keep holding on to, you know what I mean? And I was like, he was the second person that told me that, because I told you about the prophet that came up to me when we did the Tony Robbins event. A guy stopped me there.
Oh, you
and came up.
that.
Yeah. So I've been getting these messages.
Yeah.
But the reality is, if you stay in your head so much, it's like you can know you the best, but what difference does it make if you staying in your head about it and questioning whether or not you're really the best?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's the other thing. Like, it's so many different areas that we have to do work on within ourselves.
And you got to be willing to do the work.
And you got to be willing to do the work. You got to be willing to do the work. Success is not measured all by being successful in money, all by being successful in just having peace. It's in things, but it's a combination of all of it. Because one thing for sure, you can't pay your mortgage with peace.
Amen
you know what I'm saying? You got to have money. So Luther over there shaking his head. You got to have money. So although we could be like, oh, I'm such in a peaceful place, but you're not at peace if you broke.
That's right.
I don't believe there's peace
or
in
if you
being
living
broke,
in
or
lack,
if you living in
struggle.
struggle. And you can condition your mind to tell you that life is supposed to be a struggle, or this is just what life is that I'm supposed to be trying to figure out how to pay A and B. That's not, I don't believe that. And I don't believe that we serve a God that wants us to live in that space indefinitely. I posted that last week. I don't believe that's of God. We often tell ourselves, I'm waiting on God. God waiting on you.
Amen to that.
You know what I mean? He's giving us the
faith
tools.
without works is dead.
It is.
You got to do the work.
Yeah.
You got to do the work.
Yeah, we started preaching a little bit up here.
We did.
But anyway, I just thought that it was important us to touch on that. And again, prayers for that family.
Girl, I know.
It's a tragic of epic proportions, but and I don't even know what else to say. We just got to pray for the family.
Girl, we do.
And pray for each other and embrace one another. We living in some scary times. You got the Amazon burning. You got, we got somebody in the office that needs mental health.
Yeah. You got to do some work.
You got some work to do over there too. You know what I'm saying? He got some work that needs to be done. But ultimately, I look at B and myself, and I know that we're here to encourage and inspire people, and I hope that people take what we share and put it in their own lives, for their lives though, not your life being their life, my life being their life. And again, stop looking at social media to think that this is all there is to a person. It's a whole lot of living to get done outside of what you see.
Amen to that, girl.
A whole lot of living. So get to living in real life.
That's right.
And stop comparing what you see other people doing, because you don't know what people took
you can't compare your insides, or you can't compare your insides to somebody else's outsides.
Right.
Yeah, you just can't do it. Like, you never know what a person's walk is. You never know what a person's walk has been. Like, people can look at you, people can look at me, and like, they've achieved so much success, but God doggone it, y'all,
it comes with something.
Comes with a lot.
It comes with a lot. And I tell my son that the recruiting process for DJ, I didn't talk about DJ today.
Yeah.
The recruiting process for DJ hasn't been what we thought it would be in terms of, we thought we would be getting letters and mail and this and that because he had hit 90 miles per hour. But the reality is they want more consistency from him. And I told him, you have to be more consistent at 90. First of all, you got to get consistently at 90, you got to get to 92, 93. It's almost like they want you to, it used to be a time if you could hit 89, that would be enough for them to say, oh, come on, we're going to get you the rest of the way.
Right,
now it's like they want you 93, 94.
Ooh,
and that's fast. And that's coming out of high school. He's still growing into his body and stuff. But I was so proud that he decided, I'm just going to keep working. He sent me a text, and you sent him a text, and he told me about it. And he said, Mom, I'm just going to keep working. I said, DJ, there is nothing in the record books that says, or this written, it says if you don't have the offer from the school that you want by the time you graduate, that you can't still ultimately get what God has for you.
That's right.
Nobody can stop your journey.
Girl.
So it may be meant for you to.
And I hope Jaden is even an inspiration to him. Because like my son has transitioned. He transferred from Georgia to Western Kentucky, and we're in a position right now where we're waiting. The NCAA
I was going to ask you, so it hasn't answered
still
yet.
It's still in review. It's still in review.
Oh, I wish they hurry up.
Girl, my God, it's the most agonizing thing. But it's like, it's one of those things where God is just telling us to trust. Just trust.
Right.
And it's calling for us to be patient while they're going through this process. But we'll know soon. Their first game is next Thursday against Central Arkansas. So we are hoping to have an answer by Monday or Tuesday if they are either going to approve his waiver appeal where he can play immediately, or if he'll have to wait, sit out a year. So it's in their hands, and we just gonna trust God, man. We just gonna trust God. But it's been a humbling experience for him, but it goes to show that your path is yours. You have to own whatever that is. And it may not be what you initially envisioned it to be. Like, I would have never in a million years imagined myself being a young widow with 3 babies, 4, 3, and 1, and having to just go through what I endured on my own.
Right.
I would never, you couldn't have, if somebody asked me when I was 25, and I got married when I was 25, somebody asked me like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah.
You couldn't have told me, you couldn't have paid me $1 million for me to say that I would be a widow with 3 little babies.
Right.
So you just never know. You never know what God has, the path that God has for you. So you just have to trust. You have to trust, and you have to work, and you have to understand the space that you're in right now, this season that you're in it for a reason.
Yes.
What is God trying to teach you in this moment?
Yes.
What does he want you to learn in this moment? How does he want you to adapt? How does he want you to make adjustments to become the person he's calling you to be?
And that's real. The season that you're in for a reason. God is real. God I'm telling you, and I tell this story because I want people to understand that he makes no mistakes. And I know, listen, I'm with you. I hate when people say that. When you first lose somebody, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
But the reality is, he put Brandy in a freaking agent luncheon. I did not know her.
Yeah.
She was standing on the other side, and the first thing I noticed is that she was tall. And I said, dang, who is that? And then meanwhile, who is she? Like who is this heifer all up in, and then who knew? But he put her in my path. I've never recruited an agent to come work with me ever. I don't even like people like that. And so we worked together, and a year and a half later, I'm on the same journey she's been on.
Yeah.
She was already a widow 3 years in when we met, 3-4 years. And so God put her in my path because he knew what I was going to experience.
So
I want people to understand that you have
You
to
gotta
trust the
trust it.
journey.
Yes.
If you don't hear nothing else that we say, please understand that.
Yeah.
He put her there for me because I'm telling you, when it was dark and it was tough and I didn't think I could make it through, I would see this girl with these 3 little boys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta be able to I have to get on the other side.
Yeah.
She gave me hope. All the people, I appreciate all the prayers and the support, but when you see somebody who is actually gone through it, it resonates with you differently.
Yep.
So trust the journey.
And you know what's funny? And it's because I was that for you in the flesh. And I think about, how we talked about being an inspiration and sharing more so people know what your testimony is. People see what your journey is, has what you've overcome. But Venice Brinkley Walker was that for me, just in a magazine.
Right.
So she gave me hope when I saw that magazine, not even 6 months after I lost Bryce, I saw a magazine article Ebony, and I just happened to flip open to that magazine while I'm standing in the checkout line in a grocery store, and the name of the article was Single Mom on the Move. And I saw her in all her glory standing in front of that high-end subdivision, and she was a single mom, and she was doing what I aspired to do. I was just getting in class to get my real estate license. And I saw her, and I said, you know what? That is what I'm gonna do. That is what. So she gave me hope. So
and was from where you from?
And was from Chicago, but she had made her way to Atlanta, and she was killing the game in Atlanta. And y'all, this was in 2005, and I swear to God, I told myself then that is what I am going to be. But I believed it.
It's a difference in telling and believing.
Yeah, I believed it. It wasn't even a matter of me like I thought it, but I truly believed it.
Right.
And I didn't know what it was going to take. I didn't know what it was going to look like, but I believed it in my core and in my soul that God, look, this is the space that I'm in right now, and I don't know why you put me here, but I believe that you're going to get me there.
And that's the one thing I can sincerely say. I have always been a faith it till you make it person. I never thought I couldn't sell $1 million homes.
Yeah.
Like, Venice was my first person I worked for 6 months. And I remember her having a closing for a house that was like $3 million or something or whatever. And I saw that check and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this.
This is
what I want to do. But me seeing that check and seeing somebody who looked like me, that's why that was the other point.
Yeah.
I seen somebody who looked like me that doesn't. And I'm like, and I'm telling you, it never occurred to me that I couldn't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so when I got Jamal Lewis and he bought the house for $1.5 million, I did not know one thing about selling no high-end real estate. But I had Lisa Robinson, who was my broker, and I had my husband who had already bought me my Mont Blanc pen to tell me you can't use it until you write your first $1 million deal. So I knew that I was going to be able to do this.
Knew it was coming.
And it's like, once you do one, it's like everything else, you can do it. You know what I mean? It is a different level. My clients who building the house from the ground up, and I'm excited just seeing them, grade and do all this kind of stuff. The house is gonna be like 3-3.
Right.
He is young and African American and wealthy, but 6 years ago he wasn't.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't ever know what God, but he always had a very strong work ethic.
Right.
So when the opportunity met, he was prepared.
Yeah.
And boy, when I say he done took it and ran with it.
I am not mad at
so
that.
it's always opportunities out there. But anyway, so let's get to our Mom on the Move.
Mom on the Move for this week. Whoa. You know what? This mother is, she's amazing. And I had the pleasure of being her realtor. And I've also recently helped her daughter purchase a home. So Toya Wright. And Toya is an overcomer herself. She is, what she's been through as a young woman is now she's a successful businesswoman. She has written several books, New York Times bestsellers, and she's just a hustler. Like, Toya gets it. She's just out there. She has all these multiple businesses that she's doing, and so I look at her and I see her work ethic, and I just see how committed she is to her family, and now her daughter just purchased her first home, and she, was just kind of helping her throughout that process. And I'm like, man, you know what, Toya, I admire you. I admire you for the work that you've done with your daughters. Now she has she had got one that's out the house, and now she got a baby, little Rain, who is just so precious. But you know what, she represents to me what every excuse me, we Black, so I gotta say it, put it like it is. What every Black woman should aspire to be,
right?
Which is family oriented, which is about your business, about your hustle, and you know what? She has gone. Life has happened to her, and she hasn't let it just, just take
she
her
lost
out.
both of her brothers at one time.
Girl, oh my God, I could not imagine.
I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't imagine, man. I couldn't imagine losing people that close to you. Well, you and I know.
Yeah, we
both
do know. Yeah.
So we know, but to lose two of your siblings at the same time, man.
But she has pushed through, and I think that's what I want people to kind of like let that sizzle in your spirit.
That's
as that comedian says. Like, there are people who are truly overcomers.
That's right.
Use that as your motivation, because sometimes, and like I always say, it doesn't have to be lost, but people go through stuff. People that situation, the divorce, that lady never got over it.
Wow.
So there are other things that people can go through that it's tough.
Yeah.
You have got to work hard to push through your own mind.
Yeah.
Ooh, because the mind is powerful.
Oh, it is, girl. It's
powerful.
It is.
But anyway, Toya.
Toya. So Toya Wright is our Mom on the Move, and I'm just proud. I'm proud of her family. I'm proud of what she's done and what she continues to do. And she has a Wait No More. She just launched this product, weight loss, a fat burner.
Yeah.
So, and then she, she's going from city to city and she's taking on this, God, what's the word that I'm looking for? Just commitment to helping people lead healthier lives.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's her passion now. So I'm proud of her, and she is this week's Mama on the Move.
Well, Toya Wright, thank you for inspiring so many of us, and it's breaking those chains, heading on to the next generation. That her daughter is 20, and she just bought a house.
20 and just bought her first house.
That's amazing.
And we talked about this because they put that out there. They put that. It's been on the Shade Room and everything, but it broke my heart just how hateful people are. People were leaving all these comments like, why is this even news? She, her parents are rich, and and I'm like, it is news.
It is news.
She
She's
did
20.
that. The house is in her, she purchased this house.
Right.
Okay. Reginae has her own life.
Right.
So it's not like she's just living off of her parents.
Right.
She's doing her thing as a young woman entrepreneur.
And to grow up in the spotlight is not easy.
A
lot of kids are not able. Okay.
Yeah,
and the
and could
fact
be
that she
doing
was
something
focused
totally
enough
different.
that she took her money and whatever it is at 20 and being a homeowner.
Yeah.
You got folks out here 45, 50 still paying rent.
Girl, yes.
So I'm proud of her. I'm proud
so
of Toya
proud.
for sowing
I'm
the
so
seed, and I'm
proud.
proud of Reginae for, making that step. That is news, and it's a big deal, and we need to be kinder.
Girl,
we spend
people
so
are
much
so
freaking
hateful.
time to get on here and keyboard thug. I am sick and tired of it.
The pettiness
Is just childish. It's
stupid.
childish. That baby is 20 years old out here becoming a homeowner, and a lot of times it's just envy.
Yeah.
Envy for what a
and
person
hate and jealousy.
all
That's
of it. That's
exactly
what
what it
what
is.
it's typically based in. When you got the time to say something ugly, and the fact that she gets up every day, and so many others get up every day and have to deal with that type of judgment, because she's just growing up.
That's
and,
it.
And I have a niece that's in the social media, and they're just growing up.
Yeah.
And then those of us that are just out here working, minding our business, and going through enough life stuff, and now you got realtors that's petty and putting subliminals and this and that, and woo-woo. It's just childish.
It's silly.
And it has really darkened our industry. I'm talking about real estate now.
Yeah.
It has really started to shift the way we're viewed on as realtors.
That's right.
It
That's
really
right.
has. And so it's just it's very disheartening to
And
me.
it's unnecessary.
And it's unnecessary. If you are that happy in your life, you don't have time to sit up and post a whole thing about somebody else and what you think about them.
Right,
It's
right.
ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
I believe in having conversations if something bothers somebody that much.
Yeah.
Like, real talk. That's just that on that.
Girl,
But
that's that
anyway,
on that.
so this week's Mama on the Move, Toya Wright, thank you for inspiring so many of us. B, this was good. I'm glad we reconnected. We don't know when we gonna see y'all again. We gonna try to do it once a month. That's all I can say.
Yeah, once a month.
Once
we
a
gonna
month
commit
is
to
what
that.
we're going to commit to, once a month, but it won't be bi-weekly right now. Because honestly, when we were doing it bi-weekly, it seemed like we were here every week, and
Yeah.
our lives are just too. And I got to get on this recruiting thing with my son and
Yeah.
get some time to really dedicate with him. We're getting ready to
get
do
back
some-
in your house
Get back
and-
in my house. We got
Yeah,
some
you got
trips
a
we're
lot
getting
of
ready to take.
adjustments and
some
transition
adjustments
going
to
on.
make. But we appreciate y'all support. Please share. We get a lot of comments about how much you love it. Please share. This right now is truly a labor of love.
Yes.
But we want it to be a labor of love with some proceeds eventually.
Amen.
Okay. Got to ask for what you want. Put it in the
Yes,
universe.
we got
So,
to.
Until next time.
Keep moving, mamas.